The Godfather is the most ass-numbingly interesting crime film you will ever watch, and it's not even close. You're a basic film school bitch. A pretty cool basic film school bitch with a good taste in films, but still. Watching all three of these movies in a row is the most masochistic thing you could do as a cinephile. Do it at your own risk. Just saying that if you didn't jerk off to I'm Just Ken, you are lying to yourself. Was the Truman Show too lowbrow for you that you had to go with the complicated one? You probably felt bad for the people watching the wood chipper scene not knowing that this is supposed to be a dark comedy. You'd probably give a lethal death stare to the people who thought the 2018 Luca Guadagnino version was better, even though they are both equally as good in their own right. Fight me. No matter how nostalgic you'd get from this movie, you probably only did because you weren't allowed to watch The Big Lebowski yet at the time. Speaking of which, this is the superior Scott Pilgrim. You'd honestly get more confused about which year the film was made in rather than the film itself. Basically for people who wish that Barry Lyndon had more Aphex Twin music. Everyone talks about that scene where Divine ate literal shit at the end, but we're not going to talk about the irony of him dying of dysentery. You have the vision of a fish and the musical talents of Death Grips. That's all I'm going to say for this one. Remember that pretentious folklore movie with clever laying techniques you were asking for? Here you go. You'd wish that Winslow and Wake would fuck at one point, and you're probably not the only one. Saltburn was too extreme for you, so you took the safe route. The first thought you ever had when you were born into this world was, life would be so much better if Homer's Odyssey had the KKK in it. Lamau, that's not cinema. You got depressed from binging the first 3 seasons of The Handmaid's Tale, so you put this one on to lift your spirits. Only to realize that you made the mistake by putting in the director's cut instead. What the fuck? This movie is specifically targeted to the people who think Epic Movie is a cinematic masterpiece. Unless you're me and actually love this film. Just saying, if you've recently grown quite the likening towards people going off on tangents about the dangers of internet fame for nearly 3 hours, you're probably going to really like this movie. Stop watching Cinema Snob and form your own opinions. You know that there are other movies out there, right? You probably dreamt of Nicolas Cage yourself at one point.